Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim. Oh, we're having a great show for you tonight, so let's get it started, boys. We start with the Boston Celtics. Oh, it was a long off season, but an enjoyable one.
It
In
was a long, it was a long, lustrous summer.
in in title town. I don't know if you saw the picture yesterday of Jaylen Brown's photo this year. You know, they take a team photo and his photo last year. His photo last year looks like he ate some bad Caesar salad or something.
He's angry.
Completely pained. This year, smile, just the biggest grin ear to ear. We
It's
always
not to love. He's got a new girlfriend. She probably told him to shave his beard. It's probably why the beard doesn't exist anymore. She's a former WNBA player. He's got two conference and finals MVPs and a world championship title.
And next week he's on the cover of Time.
He's on the cover of Time, and he's got a new shoe coming out. Like, we all want to be Jaylen Brown right now, folks.
We sure did.
Cover of Time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cover of Time magazine.
Wow.
You know, the top 100 coming
Influencers.
young influencers. Yeah. He's the cover boy.
That's a great way to
the man has arrived.
And the difference between the life of Jaylen Brown and the life of Jason Tatum is deuce. We do not have to deal with a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
which
right.
is fantastic on many levels,
Yeah.
but puts a crimp in your personal style.
It sure does. I think his girlfriend, wife, I don't know, his dude has another one coming.
He's got another one coming too.
So it's going to be Trey, I assume. Right?
JB has another one coming?
No,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, JT, has another
JT,
kid on the way.
Is it same baby mama?
No, just he's had a girlfriend for a while. Yeah.
So is it the
You
same?
know it has to be Trey, right? It has to be Trey. You have
Will
Deuce
it be?
and Trey.
Wait, will it be? Is it the same mom as Deuce's mom?
No.
No.
It's a different. Deuce's mom was it was a college girlfriend of his. Deuce is old, man. Deuce is like what? Deuce has got to be like 6 or 7 now.
He's old. I don't know. Yeah. He's old, very old.
He's not the toddler.
I got underwear older than him.
That cigar's
I'm wearing it.
All right, let's just get it out of the way. The elephant in the room. But he hasn't impregnated Farrah Fawcett. I just need to get that. I just wanted to get.
That might be kind of tough these days.
Yeah. All right, boys. Look, last year, a year ago at this time, forgetting about the championship, it was really Jason Tatum was the face of this organization. Now, what we've just talked about Jaylen Brown for the first 5 minutes of the show, he's got all the trophies. Is Jaylen Brown the face of the Celtics?
No.
Tatum
is still 1A. Brown's still probably 1B. Most they're co-equals. He's not the face. No.
You know, as we all know, either one of them can be the best guy on the court a different night. We've seen it 1,000 times, you know. But the stats are the stats, though. At the end of the year, JT always has, you know, his stats are always better than JB's.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, are we just going to anoint Jason Tatum the best player no matter what Jaylen Brown does?
Oh, obviously, it all depends, against the Memphis Grizzlies with that no one on there. Yeah, Tatum's great. I still want to see Tatum do it in the big
You know
game.
what? I'll tell you.
Hang on, wait a minute, though. Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, that one game he had 51.
That's narrative. No, but that's narrative, Joe. Like, what Tatum did was what was needed to be done to win a championship last year. When he got double and triple coverage, Tatum found the right guy over and over again. Yeah. The only thing Tatum did not do well in the playoffs was shoot. That's it. He still averaged 25 and 10 and 8.
Yeah.
Would you agree with
me? But he
though?
was still that shooting slump was before the playoffs too.
He was in a shooting slump at the very end of the year in the playoffs.
Would you agree with me though? We've seen the hard, high pressure games, the high pressure series. If you're in a foxhole and you were fighting for your life, who do you
No,
want
I'd go
next
for
to you,
JB.
JT or G? I'll go JB.
No, I
Or D
no,
White.
I disagree.
White.
After watching what Tatum did in the playoffs last year, he played what I wanted in the foxhole next to me is the guy who's going to make the right play and play unselfishly and think about everybody else around
I'll
him.
give you this. He changed his game so that he was a rebounding demon because he knows Al doesn't like to go in there.
He averaged over 8 assists a game.
I would like to see a few offensive rebounds, though.
Well, that's not his game because he's not going to be.
It's not his game. He's not near the basket.
Yeah.
Right. He's not near the basket.
But look, I would.
What's happened over time, Scotty? What's happened over time? Just responding to your question, I think what we've seen is this, right? With Jalen, right? And Jalen's probably like right around here.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
And many games where he's above.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest difference in the Celtics last year was obviously Drew Holiday.
But I've seen,
they were survived without KP, without Marcus Smart, and without Rob Williams, with the addition of Holiday.
And White. I mean, White was huge. That block.
Well, White's been there a couple of years.
But we've all seen it, guys, and I'm just going off what my eyes tell me. Like when shit's just going wrong for the Celtics, it's usually Brown that digs him out of that hole. There's when it seems like nothing will go right, he seems to step up.
But yeah, look, I wasn't here to slander Jason Tatum. I thought like Russell said, his all around.
We need his 30 points a game to win.
But there were some key plays, maybe against Indiana and stuff, where he was in the Mavericks, where he's willing to kick out, drive the basket in key moments, kick out for the open three to the Whites and the Holidays of the world, and that was the difference in the game. But that was the difference in the maturation of Tatum from every other season in the past. He wasn't willing to do that, and they would lose those close games. He'd get 5 points more a game. He'd score 30. Yeah, but they'd lose. And that was the whole problem with the Celtics. Last season, they did not. They came through in the clutch. Right. At the end of games. They were down by 8. They were down by 10. They came back and they won.
Well, a big addition, Scotty. He had guys to kick it to now. He wasn't kicking it to Smart. He wasn't kicking. He was kicking it
your favorite Grant Williams in the corner.
Yeah, he wasn't kicking it to Grant. He was kicking it to Holiday and White,
But this just shows you guys, I think you really have to have you can't win an NBA championship anymore with one guy. You can't win them with two guys. You may not even be able to win them with three guys. You have to have a team like the Celtics to have the ability to win a championship now. You have to have that kind of depth.
Well, I think the last two winners were, obviously the Celtics the year before Denver, which had a main guy, but they had Murray and Porter and KCP. And I think you can't just, you need deeper depth, which is what the Knicks have tried to do, right? In the last couple of weeks.
I think they've done a good job of it too. Everyone on that starting five they got by trade. None of them were drafted. That's an interesting way to put together a team.
It's interesting. I mean, we know with the first season, generally, when you put all these new parts together, it doesn't gel.
Except last year with the Celtics, right?
Yeah. Well, Philadelphia is the one we're looking at this year for that.
Yeah, well, obviously, right. Holiday and KP. No, that's a great point. But I know, obviously, we saw it with the Celtics with KG. I mean, in Allen.
Yeah. Right.
But wouldn't you say generally it takes a year?
Yeah. Typically, what's interesting is there's a lot of symmetry between what the Knicks did and what the Knicks did this year and Celtics last year. Last year, the Celtics sent out 3 guys, Rob Williams, Brogdon, and Smart, and took 2 in, KP, big 7-foot tall shooting center, and a really good two-way player in Holiday. The Knicks sent out Hartenstein, Randall, and DiVincenzo, and brought in a big, tall 3-point shooting center in Cat, and a great two-way wing in Bridges, and they both took hits on their depth. Problem was, the thing about last year, Celtics, Pritchard and Hauser and Horford were there as depth. The Knicks have nobody after Deuce McBride as number 6. They flatline after 6, and Thibodeau is going to run those boys into the ground.
Absolutely.
The G Leaguers after McBride.
And look, Timmy, Brunson, we talked about last week. Brunson, he got beat up. I mean, would you consider
He was
Brunson,
a warrior, though. A warrior.
is he still a star?
You'll have to rip his heart out of his chest and stop that guy, though. I swear, he looks like he'll play with the broken arm.
Now that Towns is on the team, is Brunson the star or Towns?
Brunson.
Still Brunson. Yeah.
You think?
Oh,
That city loves him. He's the most popular athlete in the city, even over Judge.
Yeah.
He's got something about it.
Cat's a role player now on that team.
You know, he's like Marcus Smart, but with a boatload more talent. You know.
Oh,
but he feels that's a great point. He feels like Marcus Smart as far as him falling off.
I think Bridges will be the number 2 guy too, Scotty, on that team.
See, I'm thinking the way he's
and Josh Hart number 3. I think Cat's just a role player.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
a very good one, but he's a role. But I think he's a role player.
Timmy likes Brunson and Smart because they're freaking hockey players playing basketball. Like
Right,
you put a freaking hockey player and put a basketball uniform on him.
You know, if fighting were allowed in basketball, Brunson would be in the box like once a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's tough. How does the Mavericks get rid of him? How did they do that? That just
they didn't think there'd be room for him and Kyrie.
Who would you rather have right now, Brunson or Kyrie?
They wouldn't need. I think Brunson.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
please.
You shitting me?
In retrospect, that was Mark Cuban's parting shot. I think
Brunson
before he sold it.
But also, then Brunson signs this deal.
Short money to save them.
Discounted deal. He would have had he played out this season. He would have got $100 million more. How do you leave that much on the table?
Well, Scotty,
it's racketeering.
He's in that market, though. That New York market. He's probably a god. He's probably on every billboard.
Oh, he is. He is a god.
It's racketeering. His father works for the Knicks.
Yeah.
His agent, Leon Rose, his former agent, is now the GM of the Knicks. This was a wink deal of all time. I'll do my dad and my former agent a big favor, and I'll make it up on the back end. But
yeah, well, I wouldn't. I look at it in a little different way. I look at it as a guy who knows he's beat up big time.
Wait a second. Is Russell drinking the vino there, Russell?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I haven't eaten anything for like 12 hours at this point. So
a little of the grape.
Yeah,
a little bit of the. This is the way the Italians drink it, Timmy, in a juice glass.
Loosey goosey Russell. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's just a little couple fingers of wine in the juice glass.
Just wetting his feet.
Bring the wine back out. There we go. It makes us all smarter, I think.
Yeah.
Look, season
not me.
Not you. No, it does not make Timmy smarter. We've established that fact.
Well, that's true. Look, I'm totally thrown. We start the season exhibition-wise tomorrow against the Nuggets.
Noon.
Is this, of course, you're going to hear this from so many outlets. Is this the preview of the NBA Finals?
I don't think the Nuggets have it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
The Nuggets will never get to the Western Conference Finals again. Given Jokic, I mean, he's the MVP, the best player in the league. But you gotta have 4 other guys with you.
Yeah.
That's what you just said, Scotty. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys just brought that up. I'm looking at my tickets right now. When's the first home preseason?
A while. This is in Abu Dhabi, Timmy, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You want to get rid of those tickets. Those are going for
Timmy,
$1,000 a piece.
If you sold enough rock salt last year and to get yourself on a Abu Dhabi first-class flight tomorrow, then nobody would do you any, nobody would say anything otherwise.
I'll just say the snow gods need to be a little better to me this year.
They certainly do, buddy. We're all.
You need to call Timmy around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Go, Timmy, where are you? I'm in front of the stadium. Aren't you going to meet me?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi. Set your VCR though. It's fun. Basketball's back tomorrow.
All right, first preseason in Boston, October 12th, first home preseason game against the 76ers.
There are people, I would imagine, under 18 years old that do not know what a VCR is.
True. That's so true. Yeah.
Right?
Why would they?
No reason.
They'd be wondering. They'll be considering all sorts of things.
They probably think it was like a venereal
torrents,
disease of some sort. It's like a rash in your personal area.
The bathing suit area.
What are you looking for? I always ask this question during the exhibition season. Are you looking? Is there anything that interests you watching them? Is it just nice seeing the fellas back in the green uniforms?
I'm just looking forward to seeing Tillman play and see if he's healthy and hitting shots. And
and he should get a lot of time here in the preseason too. Him and Cater.
Yeah.
Any brand new guys we're really interested in seeing what they can do?
Yeah, the first round pick is, I think, to me.
Oh,
Didn't you say he gained 20 pounds?
Scotty loves that kid. He's Scotty's his new crush.
He reminds me of a little bit of Dave Cowens.
Oh God!
Oh, please.
He's only 6'6" though, right?
Here,
6'6".
Joe. Here
Cowens
we go,
was
Joe.
like 6'8".
This Cowens was 6'8", 6.
Yes, Cowens was 6'8", 6'9". This kid is like 6'7".
Left-handed. Oh, how big is he?
6'6", right?
6'6". Yeah, he's not 6'8".
Oh, you sure?
I'll look it up, but I'll look it up. But
didn't you say he picked up 20 pounds?
He gained 20 pounds.
Miracle of modern
He's 6'6".
Scotty's
6'6".
Oh, that's interesting.
He's a small forward.
What's he weighing in at?
Forward.
What's he weighing in at?
Like 205, but he said he gained 20.
He's not 205. Come on, that's not a chance. He's 205. He's 6'6". He's a big kid. He's gotta be now.
He's a wing. He's a wing, Scotty.
Yeah.
So you said he gained 20 pounds in a couple of months. That means he's probably getting tested, and then that'll be.
Well, he said on media day he'd been doing a lot of creatine, which is the thing that got Mark McGuire into trouble evidently creatine's not on the banned substances list because Shireman said he'd been doing a lot of creatine.
No.
Oh, does NBA even have a banned substance?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but creatine's not on it.
And they have testing. And
they can smoke marijuana because every time the boys who used to go past the head shop, Grant Williams would be in there, basically.
Robert Parrish would be in heaven if he kept playing the current NBA.
Oh man, I have a David Ortiz story. I don't know if I could tell it on the air.
Don't.
Oh no.
Oh no! All right. Well, we love Big
Papi. For our 7 viewers, they might leak it.
I have to tell. Yeah, I'll have to tell you the Big Papi story after. No, actually, he's all right. Yeah, I'll tell you after it. But
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Exactly. Something spurred it on. Look, Al Horford. I don't want Al playing. I want him playing 15 minutes a game every other game. Does that sound right?
Horford?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not going to play any back-to-backs this year. We know that, right?
He didn't play any last year.
Yeah, pretty much did, right?
And he really doesn't do a lot of heavy lifting out there. He never goes inside. I mean, what did he have, like 5 free throws not last year, but the year before?
Yeah.
He doesn't go inside with it mixing it up anymore.
Yeah. Do you think that he was underrated last year? And
he shot over 40%. Would he shoot over 40% from 3, Joe?
I believe so. Yes, and I think he was underrated by the opponents because they left him alone an awful lot.
Well, we've talked about that many times, Timmy. You had to pick somebody to take the shot. Right. That was the whole Marcus Smart thing. That they wanted Marcus Smart to take the shot, and he never figured that out.
But they finally figured out. Remember, at first it was Holiday, and then he was shooting 75% uncontested from that corner.
Yeah.
So they started contesting him, but he ended up over 50% even contested.
And my man Marcus's defense, a lot of times there'd be like 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah.
Into his hands,
Well, he was good with that. No, I'm not here to rip.
And Tatum got that thrust upon him by Ime. You have to take the last shot, and it would be triple covered and throwing it off his back foot. That always kills you.
Hey, do you think we see a little more Luke Cornett this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, he was
He played in
injured
the
quite a
playoffs.
bit towards the run. And
He played in the playoffs. Like, if you had said, Scotty, at the beginning of last year or the middle part of the year before that Luke Cornett was going to play in the playoffs for the Celtics, we would have all been a little bit skeptical, right?
Luke Cornett have more minutes than KP.
Well, we only said that if there was an injury, and then was
Right.
injury. Yeah, I mean,
But he played even when KP played. Like he had minutes on this team. He's in the rotation. You can see a lot of
you
Luke
remember
Cornett this
Daniel
year.
Tice was effective against Toronto a few years back because some of these teams who go deep into the playoffs have no height. So they have no answer to Cornett, especially offensively.
Right.
I still think Cornett's fairly weak defensively, though.
He's a good rim protector, though.
Yeah, I guess.
He blocks a lot of shots.
I think he's just reliable, Scotty. I think he's in the right place. But I agree. He's a good backup center. That's all he is. Like, it's fine. Like,
he knows how to be in the right place at the right time. Get the defensive rebound, outlet pass, and then go make your way up court.
Well, it's remarkable because we thought the Cornets of the world and the Tillmans of the world were going to be gone. They were free agents, and we thought they would be gone, and they took short money to stay. Or did they? Or maybe I guess that's the question. Or did they?
No, he did. They each took. He and Tillman took 2-year contracts.
Yeah, they took short bridge contracts. They might get big contracts down the way.
But I guess I don't know if that exists anymore, fellas. When you take into account the Lonnie Walkers of the world who on a exhibit 10A 10 contract, you look at the Brissettes of the world who are still on the street, right? I don't know if those fringe guys get paid anymore.
That's why they should expand by 2. It's time for expansion. Plenty of good NBA players to go around. Right?
Seattle and Vegas are just begging for teams.
Just bring them on.
Oh,
let's
absolutely.
go.
Yeah, why Seattle doesn't have a team all this year is just ridiculous. I mean,
and you put someone like Memphis in the East, who belong in the East anyways, or New Orleans in the East.
How many? If you have expansion, how many players will the Celtics be able to protect?
Well, I listened to a podcast a couple of weeks ago about this. No. They would probably only be able to protect probably 8. It could be as low as 7, but it would not be no more than 8. And in fact, last expansions were 8. The last 2 or 3 of them.
But the rosters have expanded by a couple of guys since then.
Yeah, I mean they'd get some good players. Look, I think what hockey did was terrific. It made it painful for these teams. And as it turns out, remember, Vegas and Seattle were good pretty much right away.
Well, they should. These guys are paying a fortune to buy into.
A fortune, totally.
Okay.
The thing was, that with the hard salary cap in the NHL, a lot of teams put out big money players just to get rid of them, the salary dumps. And Vegas was right there to scoop them up.
Name the 8 guys. Name the 8 guys that the Celtics would protect.
Yeah,
I would say that they're not protecting Al Horford. Obviously,
they're not protecting. Yeah, they wouldn't protect Al Horford. So that makes it a little bit easier. And you probably could leave if when push, you could leave Hauser off if you thought Shireman was going to be a cheaper replacement for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'd be the 2 J's, White, Holiday.
Yeah, be those 5 plus,
Pritchard.
Probably Pritchard, Shireman, and pick another big. Probably
and
you'd protect.
You might even leave Holiday off after next year.
You could,
because he's getting a little long. What's he, 34 now?
30. Yeah. Yep.
35. You might say,
Oh my God!
This is the kind of conversation that Scotty hates. You can see the pain washing over Scotty's face.
He would be scooped up in a second.
Of course, absolutely.
And that would be $34 million off their payroll.
$34 million off their payroll, Joe.
What do I care about that?
Yes, you do. You do in the NBA.
You have to think that way. That's
any expansion team would kill to have him in the locker room.
No, I'm not giving him up. No way. Oh my God, I love
Scotty's
every big play in those playoffs,
except
for Jaylen Brown's buzzer beater against Indiana in Game 1. Every big play was Holiday last year.
Scotty's in pain.
Oh my God! To
I
have
don't know.
everybody on the holiday on the team is just
No, but you have to think about it, logically,
There
irrationally.
is no Joe. Come on. There's no logic or ration. It's Scotty loves these guys. If Scotty loves, he loves.
I love that's how it works.
Why can't everyone be like Kansas City? They got that Bobby Baseball on an 11-year contract now.
But I gotta say, I have to go back in. When Scotty loves, he loves. But when he hates, he hates.
Oh, no one loves like Scotty. No one hates like him.
Tristan Cassis has felt the wrath.
Yes. He's felt both. He's felt both the love and the hate.
Yep.
Put his name in the book. Put a line through it.
He's dead to me, that's for sure. Oh no, I'm disoriented now. No more talk about holiday leaving. I love him. No, I don't want. Who cares?
It's a business. They'll get the best out of him this year. Like
they're going to be lying in bed tonight, staring at the ceiling, going, "Are they going to give holiday away?
No, just stop it. You guys are being cruel. I don't even like it. No, look, the fact is that holiday are dream players for us, and we'll never be able to recreate the skill sets ever again. Right?
This team.
I mean, no, who in the past would you even compare other than, to me, Dennis Johnson?
He jumps to mind.
Yeah. But and I love DJ, but White and Holiday is a lot better shooters than DJ was.
I'm trying to think back. JoJo White,
and Charlie.
But Charlie Squad was only on the 76 team, not the 74 team.
JoJo White was in that category.
Defensively?
Holidays, like I said before, you traded away Rob Williams, KP was injured, and you traded away Smart. He replaced those three, and they won a championship.
Unbelievable. Brad Stevens. I mean, if Brad Stevens was running the Red Sox right now, we would be currently like, oh, wait, we have to cut the show short.
Oh, don't get me going. Are we going to the Red? Are we going to the Red Sox?
Scotty, he would have quit. He would have quit because Henry won't let him do what he has to do.
That's exactly right. Great point, Timmy. There's no way Brad would put up for that crap. He'd go back to Butler.
Or be coaching Indiana U.
Well, I want to finish up the Celtics. I didn't plan on doing it, but I'm so glad we did. But this whole premise that if an owner comes in, spends $5-6 million, that he's going to be unwilling to spend sounds absolutely ludicrous.
You mean billion?
Billion.
5 billion, right? Oh, I'm sorry, 5 billion, 5 to 6 billion. Yes, that does. I mean, of course. Like, I assume if this guy spends so much money that he wants to keep.
That's very rarely the case. That it's like
Oh no, that's. I mean,
you see a few. You see a few like Steve Ballmer or Cohen with the Mets.
Okay,
that's the exception rather than the rule.
Hey,
usually they have a fire sale when they come in.
Now, are the Red Sox part of Fenway Sports Group?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do these investors, they want return for their investment now, right? Do you think that's having an effect on what's going on over there?
Always.
Okay, we'll go to the Red Sox. Yeah. That's a great question.
He's got so many partners now. So they all want their dividend checks every year.
Well, but you're assuming that by having a mediocre team that they're making more money over there.
Well, that's what I don't get, Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a fine line where they make it has to do with the balance sheet? It always does, right? I mean, are they making the money they're saving on the salary? Is that offsetting? Are they making that much less in revenue?
Well, Timmy, I think there are owners or periods in ownership where it's not about the balance sheet. Like when Henry and Werner bought the Red Sox, I don't think it was for the financial investment. I think that they were desperate to break the curse and to win a championship. And I think Wick and his family were desperate to win another title. But like to your point, Timmy, once you start buying other franchises and taking in this outside money, those people don't care that much.
They want their dividend
LeBron
check at the
doesn't
end of the year,
care.
right?
Right.
They
Right.
want their dividend check. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
they have to go to the shareholders meeting and put the numbers up on the board and say, hey, and I'm
Yeah.
sure when he's soliciting these partners, he has to kind of say, hey, this is what kind of return you're going to get.
And if they have to strip the assets of a company to pay him off, they will.
Well, when the owner stops going to the games, then that's the big indication
Yeah.
to me that he has no interest.
Oh, yeah.
And how many times was Henry spotted at Fenway? Maybe a couple of times the whole season. He used to be at every game.
I wonder how many nights he sleeps in Brookline. You know?
Yeah, that's I would say.
Well, he spends most of the time on the yacht.
Yeah. Anybody who spends most of their time on the yacht is just a piece of shit to me. I can't stand any of it. And then I just want to mention that phony wife of his. He just keeps on giving her titles. I mean, how many pictures on the wall at Fenway when I'm going to my bathroom do I have to see of her? And I have no pictures of me, and I'm very upset that they're going to clear my name on
You
served on my stall too.
Season's ticket holder of the decade isn't up there.
Oh, we've got plans for that stall, right, Joe? We're gonna have a nameplate and everything.
So right now, he gave her a newspaper. He gave her a soccer team, a women's soccer team, right?
What's her position at Fenway Park? It's something big, right? No, I think he's gave her some phony title there.
She's probably got some public relations title.
I just think like winning a World Series title is not the most important thing for John Henry and his fellow owners. It just isn't. Like, and they've made it clear, right? So I don't know. It'd be great if they sold it, but that team's not getting sold.
Yeah.
It's the crown jewel in
the Fenway Sports Group.
In the Fenway Sports Group.
Look, I'm with Timmy now. After hearing Sam Kennedy, and he was the worst Sam Kennedy ever with his bullshit rhetoric. We have breaking news from the Grandstanders live desk. Joe, Sam Kennedy said they had not made the decision to raise ticket prices. What do you know about that, Joe?
I went there a couple of weeks ago, and they gave me a price list for every seat in the park. And lo and behold, our seats went up in price.
Went up a couple percent.
$1 a seat.
Yeah, 2%. So he knows that, and he will tell untruths.
He's a corporate. He's a suit. He's a mouthpiece.
The business
end. Shield.
He has nothing to do with the baseball, and he wants nothing to do with the baseball.
Right. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
And that's the kind of guy you don't want running it. The guy that hates the baseball end of it.
He falls on the sword for a living. That's his job. That's his job.
And it's so funny because I think there were we were doing this show probably when this was happening, but when Lucchino left, it was all the John Lester thing, and Scotty was pissed at Lucchino, and they basically blamed Lucchino for everything. But you look back, Lucchino was like, he was Sam Kennedy, but he cared, and he loved the baseball, and he was a decent baseball guy, right?
Oh yeah,
he wasn't making the decisions, but he had passion. He was like, he wanted to kill everybody.
Well, he made mistakes like Bobby Valentine.
Well, that's fine, but those are mistakes. Those are errors. Those are errors of commission,
right?
He was trying.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's all we want to see is for them to try.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, and nobody was more beloved than that Fenway Park within the employees, the game day staff, and all that stuff than Larry Lucchino. He was very approachable and stuff. No, I mean, obviously I ripped on Lucchino a lot because of the John Lester thing.
Well, who was the announcer we had that didn't like him?
Donasillo?
No.
Sean McDonough?
The guy we had on the air.
Jerry Trupiano.
Oh,
Trupiano. That was
Remember, he hated Lucchino.
He was the worst guest we ever had. It's so funny. And our producer, the woman who I'm married to, she didn't like him at all. I remember he left. She's like,
"Hey, just now that we're talking about producers, how about a little about Joe Castiglione? It just oh my God! I remember I was in college in 1986, and I remember vividly listening to him and like hot summer nights and And, you know, I remember vividly when remember Seaver came in late that year?
Yeah.
And I remember him basically doing the radio on Tom Seaver's first start of the Red Sox, like it was yesterday.
Yeah, that was actually when Seaver got hurt. That
That's
hurt
right.
our chances to win the World Series. We probably would have won had Seaver stayed.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because instead of throwing out Al freaking Nipper, I think
Yeah.
it
Would have been Tom Seaver.
What year was that?
That
What
was
year was that?
86. 86.
86.
Late season trade from the White Sox, if I remember correctly, right?
Remember, they were just loaded with lefties. Loaded with lefties.
See if you remember
Who they traded for Tom Seaver. Boy, that's a tough one.
Oh, you guys are gonna I remember this. You're gonna
Bob Watson.
George Scott.
Steve Lyons.
No. Oh,
Steve
that's
Lyons.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
The White Sox.
Yeah. Steve Lyons.
Like Castiglia, he was great. He was fantastic to listen to. He was great.
But that's
Swing
a
and a
great.
pop,
He was great. Yes. No, tip of the cap to Joe Castiglia. He's been there for what, 41 years?
There's a pop up to second.
Yeah, and worked with Ken Coleman initially.
Ken Coleman's the one who gets me. Listening to the radio out in the yard, like me and my old neighbor, my 80-year-old neighbor, just sitting there listening to them.
Ned Martin,
night,
remember Ned Martin, Mercy. Ned Martin would go, just Mercy.
Well, for me, it was Cowboy at the mic. Kurt
I
Gallagher.
had the most awesome neighbor, Mr. Hart, and he was a shop teacher at Don Bosco High School. The kindest, nicest man. I get so many tremendous stories about him. And he was obsessed with the Red Sox, and I was obsessed with the Red Sox. You know, out of the five, my brothers and sisters didn't give a crap about the Red Sox, but me and him, man, we had a bond over the Sox listening to those games.
The Red Sox have had some great announcers that over the years. They really have.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with some. I mean,
Stockton,
I mean, look, even back in the '75, we had Dick Stockton, and of course, Hockey.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, McDonough was tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean McDonough.
Sean McDonough, and also who's the guy they get rid of?
Well, Orsillo.
Orsillo was fantastic. Yeah.
He does national games too.
I mean, you couldn't laugh harder than listening to him and Remy do it.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, when they'd start laughing.
What did I see on TikTok the other day? The breast grab. They were doing the breast grab.
Yeah.
Oh, they show that all the time. I know. I always have to.
The pizza toss. Oh God!
Always, but no, the hot dog toss is
the pizza toss.
Pizza toss. Excuse me.
Yeah, pizza toss is the best.
The best ever.
Sorry to get us off on it. It was nice. It's nice to get a positivity around the Red Sox because we got no one has anything nice to say about them.
We're living off memories here.
Because I think that the theme I've got from Kennedy is he won't talk about the fact that they're freeing up over $40 million of salary. Doesn't mention that. You know
what a phony excuse. He says, "Oh, we don't want to talk about payroll expectations because that would give a competitive advantage to our competitors." How? That would make them more scared and make them pay more and give you,
It's the same bullshit every year. And when I heard the reset, that means, okay, good. We're now 40 million less. We're resetting. Which means they're going to go even less than they did.
I just wanted to say on that, for $32 million, they could have had both Michael Walker and Seth Lugo this year. Both for 32. Those two are getting paid $32 million, I believe, between them. And the Kansas City Royals, who lost 103 games last year, are in the second round of the playoffs because of those two.
Oh, absolutely. And short money, and they're not willing to spend it. And I'm telling you, Timmy, I keep on thinking about you. You're right. It's not getting any better. It is not getting. No matter how much we wanted to get better, and no matter how much we determine, there's a Burns available, there's this guy available. Red Sox have no interest.
They'll take a phony run at them, Scott, but they won't get them.
Well, we were in the hunt, but we just came up short. Yeah.
Yeah, all I'm going to talk about is Giolito. We have Giolito coming back. We've got Houck, Bayo,
Garrett Whitlock coming back.
Whitlock getting back. What do we need? We're all good.
But these are all B- C+ pitches. We're not talking about A's or even B's.
You know what this to me. I'm going to digress here a moment. This all comes back to if they didn't have that last wild card spot, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that's lending in to the Red Sox playing it the way they're playing it? I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous for the team.
I think you're right in that it bought them another year of doing this.
I agree with Joe.
That last wild card spot, right? Just allows these owners not to try and just like maybe luck their way into it. And it takes you can luck into it, have a shitty entire season, and you could go on a team that had a tremendous regular season. It doesn't seem right.
Well, I think that's right.
Yeah, no, and look, we've said this before, but probably the worst thing that ever happened to this team was making the playoffs that year. Because it kind of reset things and gave them some grace, right?
So if we take that year out, right?
6 out of 6. We've missed the playoffs 5 out of the last 6 years. It would have been 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
Look, it absolutely.
The natives would have been very restless a couple of years ago.
It's not even speculation. Yep. All of a sudden, the offseason comes and they let Schwarber go. There you go, right there. They let him. They let this guy who was incredible both on and off the field.
Yeah, they said he didn't play any position except DH. Well, now they got a half dozen DHs on that team.
Kyle from Waltham. I mean, this guy ingratiated himself instantly. I've never seen this. Remember, when he was acquired, he was actually injured. And then so it took a couple of weeks. And they were treading water. This guy starts playing, and they're a different team.
It starts hitting home runs everywhere.
So I do have another baseball topic, Scott. You got to give me the floor for a second. Will there ever be, and has there ever been, or will there ever be a more meaningless Cy Young award than Chris Sale's this year?
Oh,
because this guy wins the Cy Young out of nowhere and pitches. He pitches 0 innings in the playoffs. Didn't pitch in the play-in game, and then that final doubleheader, not quite a play-in. With back spasms in the second game, and gets left off the roster in a best 2 out of 3 series. Atlanta's out. The most meaningless Cy Young in the history of the game.
He quit on his team, and he's good with it. He is so good with it. And he's talking about probably with them an extension.
Oh, he already got the extension.
No, an additional, add some more years to his phoniness.
Him and Grandpa summer together or winter together.
Oh my God, so true. And then tomorrow, or it might have been today, he'll get up there in front of the microphones and tell everybody about how sad he is and how bummed he is for stealing the team's money and he wasn't there for his team. And he'll cash his checks and he'll go back to Florida and have a great off season.
And never think twice about it.
Never think twice about it.
Back spasms. It's like a slip and
This
fall in the
freaking
grocery
guy.
store.
And then in the narrative that he has spun over the last 7 years is to the point that I was watching the game the other day, and Carl Ravitch and the guys doing David Cohn do like 3 minutes about Chris Sale and how bummed he was not to be able to pitch for the Red Sox and on about what a great guy he is. I'm like, he's a fraud. You guys have all fallen for it.
Absolutely. I know.
I told you about what he did at the All-Star game to Jared Duran, didn't I?
No.
He got Duran in a one-on-one, cameo like appearances, before the game, and for 5 minutes each. And who comes out? And Duran barely says hi. And who comes out from nowhere? But Chris Sale said, "Hey, I always knew you'd make it here and there," and totally takes over the interview. And poor Duran, of course, he doesn't really speak up for himself, got pushed aside, and his whole media appearance got blown away.
I defended Chris Sale for years too, and I was suckered into it.
Well, he talks the talk, Timmy.
He came to town, boy, like my kind of guy,
Oh, well, good luck with him next year. Good luck with his year after winning his Cy Young. He's taking the next couple off. You can bet on it.
0 innings pitched.
Well, he did
the most important
prove me wrong. When it turned to August, I started betting against him.
Did you really?
Bastard kept winning this time. Every other time in his career, he lost the whole month of August and
He
September.
was throwing like 96, 98 all year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I hate Chris Sale. I hate him. And look,
Nana Chrissy to you.
but I'll have to give it to us. We never yielded. Despite his season, we always said he was a fuckhead. Always. Never gave him one. We didn't say it was a bad trade because we wanted. We were like, give us broken bats, which is what does a broken bat look like?
Just get him out of here.
Vaughn Grissom.
He's a bad influence in the clubhouse.
Of course he is. He's just a
He's showing everyone how to game the system.
Oh yeah, but he's also got Joe. You talk about this a lot. He's a guy walking around the locker room saying, "Don't kill the job.
Yeah.
Don't kill the job. Hey, what are you doing here?" Right? I mean, he's a guy, and probably gossiping up the yin yang about everybody. I'm so glad.
Wait, do our younger audience members know what "don't kill the job" means?
No.
Joe, why don't you explain what "don't kill"?
I'll explain. Don't kill the job.
Oh, you.
My brother's a union electrician. He shows up. He gets sent to work for the Boston Housing Authority, and the first day he gets there, he puts like 12 light sockets in. And the old timer comes over to him. He says, we put 3 light sockets in a day. Don't kill the job. He's retired now, so I can say it.
I love that. There you go. That soon will be in the Webster Dictionary as the definition of "don't kill the job." All right, boys.
3 light sockets.
This shows you we're 50 minutes into the show.
I know.
And the team
New England
is currently playing regular season games. The only one, the New England Patriots. We haven't addressed them at all.
I will address them in this way. We can make money off them this year, betting against them.
I don't know. Miami's just as bad as they are.
Well, this is the first week. Let me tell you, the last 2 weeks were the surest bets I ever made in my life.
Yeah, I agree.
I even bet when the spread went up one game.
Yeah. When it went up to 10.5, you jumped on it.
I'm a little confused because Miami might be as terrible with them, but when they're playing a semi-adequate NFL team and the spread is like 10 or under, bet the house.
Well, everybody was saying before the season started, if David Andrews got injured, that we were really screwed. Well, boys, this breaking news from the Grandstanders live desk: David Andrews hurt his shoulder and is out for the season,
and probably for good. That's probably it for his career.
You would think so, right? I mean,
shoulders are not good. Shoulders. I'm dealing with 2 bad ones right now. They're a mother.
And he's been talking about retirement anyways. This might just do it.
Yeah, but I can't believe he ever came back from the blood clot, to be honest with you. Which is kind of, remarkable in itself. But I think this was going to be his last year anyways. Don't you think, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they really need to they drafted this kid, Jake Andrews, but it turned out to be a bust.
Yeah. And the kid they're using now, in the preseason, he was fumbling every other snap. He's
been better though. I think he seems to be doing better.
There hasn't been a problem with Brissett, anyways. But with Drake May and with Joe Milton, he had troubles during the preseason.
That seems like a fixable thing, though.
Yeah.
Well, what I heard today, and I don't believe it, but I'm going to say it anyways. This Cole Strange sighting, apparently he made play this season, and they're teaching him how to play center.
That's fine. I think he looks to me, Joe, like he's more of a center than anything. He's like built like
interior lineman is an interior lineman. Guards and centers are the same. If you're smart enough, you're a center.
Yeah.
Center's got to make the calls,
Give him a shot.
Yeah.
And less likely to get hurt in that spot,
maybe.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you do have to go out and headhunt the middle linebacker, but you're moving and they're absorbing the hit, so it's better.
You're not pulling them.
Yeah.
No,
not
sometimes
so much.
the center pulls a lot on those screen passes, but that nitwit Ramondre Stevenson telegraphs it too much, and he's out there before the blocker.
That's a great segue, Joe, into our next subject. Stevenson, they give him a huge contract, $17 million guaranteed. He just can't stop fumbling. And yet Mayo had an opportunity to kind of set the tone as first-year head coach to sit his ass down. And to be honest with you, he didn't really do it.
Well, he's the best runner that they have. It just I heard they're going to go with Gibson as the starter this week. Gibson gives up a little in the running. He doesn't have the size or the speed of Ramondre, but he's surer and he's much better in the passing game.
You know, so Scotty, I mean, it's a fine line you walk. You know what I mean? He's dropping the ball, but he's your best player.
He's your best offensive player.
Yeah.
I know your point. He's not performing up to. If he was playing for Bill Belichick, he would be.
He's a big.
Yeah, he would have been cured of the fumbles.
So I was reading, players to pick in your fantasy this week, and Stevenson was way up there because of Miami's defense and how good Stevenson is, and I don't know, but I don't know how much you'll see the field because maybe this is the week. But you got a chance to win a game this week. You're gonna let Stevenson sit on the bench?
No, you're not.
Yeah. Well, he'll start Gibson to make a point, and then he'll put Ramondre in.
A lot of body language.
I mean, there's money to be made up the middle there. They're missing a couple of linebackers, and that's where you're gonna want to run.
What was I thought the Jets game was about as bad as the Patriots could possibly play. And then they played the 49ers. And I'm like, no, actually, there is a greater bottom and they're trying to reach it.
So, Scotty, I got a question for you. I think I pretty famously went on the record and said, look, I'll root for them until like their 9th loss. And then all bets are off. I'm rooting against them.
Lose to Miami.
I got to tell you, I got to tell you that the draw of if they lose this weekend to the moribund quarterbackless Miami Dolphins and they go 1-4, I may need to retract my promise on that.
Miami is down to a quarterback they picked up that didn't play anything in the preseason or the start of he wasn't on the team to start the year.
I'm almost
down to that. They're out of quarterbacks that they know.
I've never done this in my life ever to a Boston team. I am looking around for another NFL team to kind of root for.
Oh my God, you can't NFL shop. It's illegal.
Yeah. You can have second favorites, third favorites. No one can go to the front.
But not that I don't want. This is back. Like we're back to the '60s Patriots right now. We're back to like when I was a kid going to Harvard Stadium and BU and freaking BC watching them play.
So,
that's what it feels like.
So
then we have
where are you? Like I need you to search your soul and where are you on this team in terms of your
you're in my head. You're living rent free, Russell. There's no question that I think about it and it bothers me because I'm sorry, nobody loves Tankathon more than I do.
Nobody.
Nobody. I watch Tankathon more times during the day.
Nobody.
It's my comfort zone. I'm on Tankathon.
It is, yes.
And I've already been on Tankathon. I have to admit it.
Of course you have. Nobody loves a number one pick more than Scott Kerman loves a number one pick.
We're officially Jets fans right now. You know, we're 4 games in, and we're talking about the fucking draft.
And I'm worried about the Atlanta Falcons, whether they'll lose for how the 3rd round pick's going to be when we know Elliott Wolf is going to fuck up these picks no matter what spot he's in. But we know he can't fuck up the number 1 pick.
No, he can't.
That'll be clear and evident. He's going to trade the number 1 pick.
Yes, exactly.
So
that's right.
Like you said with Drake May, it was either
you don't get any credit for he gets no credit for taking Drake May. None.
And then we see in Hard Knocks where he was talking to the Giants and said, "Up the ante, and I'll give you him. I'll give you Drake May." So he was willing to fuck up. It just they didn't give him enough to pull the trigger on. So look, I agree with you, Russell. They lose. No, but don't they also have the Jaguars the week after?
I don't know who they have next.
They have the Jaguars after that. which
Another 0-14.
they're winless.
Yeah.
So
but they're good. The Jaguars are nowhere
better
near
than
as
an
bad as their
0-14.
record are.
okay.
Yeah, they
I
play.
think we
You're
all
right,
have to
Scotty.
admit
They
this.
play the Jaguars.
And Miami and the Patriots aren't as good as a 1-3 record.
Okay, let's see.
I
If
wonder if they
come
have
to a
I wonder if they have a
consensus.
spread out yet for the Patriots-Giants game.
Let's see if we
They
can
have a
come to a
spread
consensus.
for every game, Tim.
Right
Let's see if we
now.
can come to a consensus. If they lose the next 2 weeks against the shitty Dolphins.
Well, no, Scotty, hang on a
guaranteed
second. They
number
play
one.
the Texans after the Dolphins, and then they play the Jaguars, and then they play the Jets.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna come to the
Don't
Russ
they play
Stevens
Tennessee
side.
soon?
What's that?
Yeah, then after that, after the Jets, they play Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus.
That's another 1-3 team. So
okay. If they lose the Dolphins, Texans, they're gonna lose the Texans. They're gonna wipe them out. And if they lose to the Dolphins and Jaguars, that puts them at 1-6.
Yep.
Very close to your 9-game threshold, correct?
Yes.
I'm out. And I'm rooting for
I thought they were going 8-9.
I'm rooting for I'm
out.
Like for the first time. I'm comfortable with it.
No, I can't find anything past the Texans on DraftKings.
No, here's the schedule. Tell us, Russ. The schedule.
So the schedule is this: they play the Texans in New England. They play at the Jaguars. Then they play the Jets. Easy schedule: Titans, Bears, Rams, Dolphins. I mean, there's winnable games all over the place in there.
They're playing the last place
win
schedule, so they're playing the last place teams from each division last year.
But then again,
it gets
every
hard.
team is
It
looking
gets
at the
hard in
Patriots as
December.
a victory, though. Just so you know.
Yeah.
The Patriots.
Don't they get Buffalo twice in December?
They get Buffalo twice. They get the Chargers and the Cardinals. So those are all pretty hard games, actually, in Arizona too.
Yeah.
So
I would say Cardinals here would be a toss up.
Is Duga going to play on Sunday?
He was out as of today.
Oh, okay. So, wait.
Him and Peppers didn't practice.
I don't know why we're building the Patriots up. They're a terrible, horrendous team. They have. I don't. Right now, after those last 2 games, I don't see them winning another game the whole season.
those are some bad teams, though. Jesus.
They've got opportunities with Miami here twice with no Tua, no second string guy. And realistically, they didn't have a third string guy. They grabbed a guy off the street to throw in here for the last game and today and tomorrow.
Jacoby Brissett's not going to last much longer, guys. This is.
And how long do you expect the Sainted one to last?
I can't believe that they're going to put the Messiah in there. Seriously, I can't.
So an honest question for you guys. Do you think that at Mayo and Wolf get desperate at some point? Like if they're 1-6 and they're now like worried about, their jobs or something. Do you think they throw May in just to protect themselves?
I think Mayo would throw May in Sunday, would start May Sunday. But Wolf is saying, no, you can't do it.
Don't do it. Interesting. Yeah.
Now, how's Miami's defensive line? They're pretty good, right?
Not that good anymore.
No.
They've had injuries. They've lost players. They're in rough shape. They give up to Joe's point. They give up a ton of yards on the ground, a ton.
But I mean, are they willing to, for the short-term gain? I mean, this season's a fucking bust. We all know it, right?
But Tim, they have an even worse offense than us.
Yeah, but I'm
They're
talking
worse
about
than
May.
us.
I'm talking about May. Are they willing for that short-term gain? This season already means nothing except for where we're going to stand on the ground. Are they looking so short-term that they're willing to put this guy in harm's way? Just to save face.
But they are.
But you got to think. Remember, the coaches, and the players would like to win. In that locker room, they practice with those two guys every day. If May is significantly better than Brissett, you're going to have everyone on the defense ready to kill everyone on the offense. Just because of that, there's going to be
the defense has been terrible Sue, what are you talking about, Joe?
Well, yeah, they're missing a ton of players.
Yeah, but then you need the adult in the room to walk in and go, hey, this is our future here.
Yeah.
We don't want to get him murdered out here, concussed. I know that can happen in any game, but right now it's not worth it to put him into that position.
What's
But what if
happening?
there's no choice in the matter?
It's happening. They don't have a backup quarterback that's not named the Messiah. That's who it is.
They're leaving themselves very open to really destroy their future. Really,
this is a nightmare. I actually want.
Well, and the general manager didn't go get a veteran guy off that, like a Tyler Huntley that Miami has going.
Just repeat after me. They are tanking.
Yes.
They're tanking. The only explanation for any of this, don't go get off veteran offensive lineman when you're on your fourth stringer on left tackle, is they're okay with losing.
Okay, so they're.
But are they willing to lose at the expense of getting Drake May really messed up?
Well, that's why they're not allowing Mayo to play him.
That's not.
But we know Brissett's life expectancy is like 3 games right now.
That's what he's getting paid to do.
I don't understand the whole tanking.
Calling Joe Milton.
But I don't understand the whole premise of tanking. If you already have the Messiah, and I keep on saying this each week, and someone's going to have to explain to me. You already have the Messiah, so you're not tanking to get a quarterback. You are going to get the top left tackle, Campbell.
So draft to trade for more draft capital. You know, someone you're going to trade with someone who wants a quarterback at that number 1 pick. That's going to give you 3 number 1s and a number 2, or 3 1s and 2 2s, so that you can restock your team.
When you're tanking full blow.
Tanking to trade.
Yes.
Look, if you lose the next 3 weeks, losing to the Dolphins and the Jaguars, you pretty much put yourself in the position for that number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at 1-6, having lost to those teams.
Look at how excited he is. Look at how excited he is about the tankathon. He's getting all warm inside.
He's a Jets fan.
This is terrible.
The general consensus around the NFL is the Patriots have the worst team.
Well, it has been since the whole offseason.
Yep.
Because
they did nothing this offseason. They did not one thing to improve the team. They re-signed guys from last year that went 4-13, but they did nothing to improve this year's team.
Do you think we can get 3 first if we get the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
I don't know who's coming out that's so tempting.
Yeah.
Well, there's always one phenom quarterback that everybody's got a hard on for.
There's no question, yeah. And it can be just when all of a sudden, in the combines, they look at McCarthy again. I saw a lot of mock drafts where the Patriots were taking McCarthy in the 2nd round, and then McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yeah, remember that the first pick is worth so much more than the 2nd or 3rd pick because you control the entire draft. And so this is why Scotty is going to be lying awake tonight and on Sunday night after they lose, and he's going to have the angel and the devil on each shoulder, and he's going to be a nervous wreck for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Looking at every mock draft on the internet.
Okay, but we are going to root for the Patriots this weekend, right?
Sure.
I always root for them. Hey, I'm always
root for them. I can't root.
I don't.
I'm always happy when they win.
Not me.
Oh no, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to root for him. Once I commit to go to the dark side, I'm not rooting for him anymore.
Absolutely. When you go to the dark side, you root against them.
When he turns that cap around.
When I put my money on the dark side, that's when I root against them.
But the fact is, we can root against them. We can root for them.
Not going to matter.
Matters.
They stink. They're tanking and they stink.
Now, the fact remains that these are the 2 lowest scoring teams in the NFL.
36.5 for the overall.
31 and 32 in scoring.
It's so weird when you have like the shittiest team in the NFL. It always happens. You always have the best punter and field goal kicker. It's like, and right now we have the best punter, and this guy Sly. This kid he set a record last week. 63 yards. Pretty remarkable stuff. All right, we got to finish up with the Bruins before we go.
Wait, we got to do predictions?
Oh, right, of course. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, thank you.
I don't have a pen and paper on me, but I'll put it in my.
How could anyone?
where's the predictions from last week?
I got them up in my office. Sorry.
I think you were probably
No, it's all right.
the best, Scott. You gave the most points to San Fran.
San Francisco. All right.
When
Well,
when I get up to my office, I'll take a picture and send it to you guys.
all right, thank you for reminding me about the predictions. Sometimes I forget. I get so disoriented when we talk about the Messiah. So here we go. Let's start with Russell. Dolphins.
All right, I'm gonna put this in for next Thursday. So when I look at it, I'll be able to see it.
What's the spread?
I'm going to say that the Dolphins win 15-11 because that's the level of absurdity that this game is going to be.
Wait, what's the
I
spread?
wonder if that's a scorigami.
The Patriots are favored by 1.
Wow.
15-11 Dolphins.
So is that going to be a unique score? I always love that. Apparently, that you know how they say that a score that's done in the end.
I hope it is. That this game deserves that stupid score.
I don't know. How do you even get to 11?
5 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2, and another field
easy.
goal.
3 field goals and a safety.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right. Okay. All right. 15-11. You got that, Timmy?
Yeah.
All right, Joseph.
9-8, the Patriots. I'll go with the baseball score. 3 field goals by one of them 60 yards plus against the Dolphins, who score a touchdown. Their defense will score a touchdown on pick 6 or a fumble recovery and get a safety on Jacoby Brissett.
You writing all this down, Timmy?
I am. Yeah, I didn't write all that down, but I got Joe.
9-8. Not even get double figures.
Sounds like someone's gonna have a walk off.
I'm going Patriots 17-10.
What? I don't even know how
2
that
touchdowns.
happened. I don't even know how that happened.
I think they're just gonna
The
grind.
defense will have to score 1.
They're gonna grind it out on the ground. Ramondre is they're just gonna run them.
Do we know
God, it's
anyone?
going to be boring.
Kind of like they did against Cincinnati. You know what I mean?
Imagine being a season ticket holder and having trudged there on Sunday against those two.
You got to get there 3 hours early.
Holy shit.
How
All right.
times have changed.
Look, this is a really bad team. The Patriots are really horrific. I have no faith whatsoever. It's been absolute torture the last 2 games. They're going to lose this game. They're going to lose 21-6. This is I can't tell you how bad the Patriots are. And this whole Nick Leverett, I think he's going to be a swear word after Sunday, because you know how many times he's going to flip it over Brissett's head or something. This is just going to be, I think this is going to be the lowest point in the history of the Patriots on Sunday. I really do. I think they're trending that way. And now with all these injuries, it's going to be a shit show. All right.
So do we all bet the under?
Oh, I think
yeah, it's only 35.5, isn't it?
36.5, I think. You know, last time there was 38, I bet the under and I lost. I remember that.
The whole game's going to be played at like the 50-yard line, 48-yard line, 48-yard line.
Punt.
Like a hockey game played at center ice, you know what I mean? Between the blue lines.
Yeah. No one can break out of the neutral zone.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with the Bruins. It's all about Swayman all the time. Cam Neely should never talk. He should just be a nice trophy.
Well, he only rounded it up by $1 million, 63 to
president.
64.
Like, instead of a trophy wife, Cam Neely, the trophy president.
Seabass.
Yeah, 64 million. It sounds really cool. Sounds fun.
Is that 8 years?
It had to be,
yes.
right? It's completely unprofessional. That's a completely unprofessional answer by the president of a sports club to even say that. Completely out of context. And apparently the agent's like, well, it wasn't even true. You know?
His agent is a tool. That he's even worse than Cam.
You know, I think
that agent is the worst. I mean, it was 63.2. You know,
Neely's trying to get 64. A little public on his side. I think, you know what I mean. He's
not
like, hey, I'm just pointing out that we're giving him a pretty fair offer. You know what I mean? I don't know what. Just so the world knows, we're giving him a pretty fair offer.
That 7.8 million that they've offered would be in the top 5 contracts for goalies of all time.
That's
top 10 AAV of all time.
You know, I mean, is anyone willing? What's he looking for? 11?
No, I don't think it's 11.
Doesn't say.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Okay, when's the season start?
Starts a week from tonight.
Okay, let's go.
Montreal at the Garden. I'll be there.
Okay, Timmy, will Swayman be there?
No.
Is he ready at this point? You know what I mean? I don't know what he's doing.
They've
on
already
the side.
announced the other guy to be the starting goaltender.
I know, but that's just.
But I don't know. Is Swayman out there taking shots?
Is Swayman gonna sign in the next before opening night?
You know, he's an idiot if he doesn't.
So is he yes or no?
I'll say, you know what? I think he's getting bad advice. I don't think he does.
Okay, Russell.
No.
Joe.
I think he will. I think things are heating up.
Yeah, I think he.
I mean, if you know, obviously now nearly fucked up. 64 million is the bottom line, is where they start negotiating from. So he's not going to take a penny less than that since you already upped the offer.
Well, that offer is pretty much already on the table, right?
Well, yeah, it was like 63 million for 8 years. Yep.
Give or take, you know, a couple $100,000 a year, you know.
Look, all you got to do is explain to Jeremy, if you get into like a car accident today, not your fault, and you're seriously injured, you will get nothing, or you can get the $63 million guaranteed, and nobody you know or will ever know have ever had that much money. Okay, so why don't you do that and then start, dropping pucks?
He's never played more than last year was 43 games he played. 40.
You're talking about your great grandchildren's college tuitions with that kind of money.
Oh my God, I can't. We can't even imagine it. So yeah, he's going to sign. Trust me. And I don't know if he has parents that are living and stuff, but if I was his old man, I'd be like, Jeremy.
But this agent really is a piece of work.
It's not like it's an insulting contract by any means. You know.
No.
Do you think they might come to terms maybe 4 years?
Well, he might want to say, okay, make it 2 years, 19 million.
That'd be stupid. That'd be stupid by him. You just take the freaking money and live the life, man.
I'll tell you, in 8 years, that $8 million is not going to be shit.
No, I'll take the 64 million. All right, that's our show. We already went over. That's our show for tonight. Want to thank the fellas, of course. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.